in the la-la liberal paradise that is Seattle, an edict was recently issued to members of law enforcement regarding language. Namely, Seattle police can no longer call suspects when they write up their use of force reports. No. Now the correct term for suspect is community member. Yeah, community member. It's all about being a little more sensitive and a lot less judgmental. Now, Seattle's rank-and-file officers claim such sugar-coated language is really due to yet more political correctness infecting their realm. But Seattle Police Chief Operating Officer Brian Maxey says the changes are purely for accuracy because labeling someone a suspect can sometimes be misleading if that person isn't really suspected of doing anything. Yet, with all due respect to the Seattle police brass, don't we already have an ideal word for someone who might be a suspect but isn't officially one yet? That descriptor is person of interest. Certainly a lot less damning than suspect, but far more relevant than something so vague as community member, because really, at the end of the day, isn't the entire population of a city comprised of community members? But that's how they roll on the left coast. For example, last year, the Washington Department of Corrections actually stopped calling prison inmates offenders. Can you possibly guess what the new PC term is for offenders? How many of you guessed students? Yeah, that's right, students. In an internal department memo obtained by Seattle TV station KIRO, Acting Department of Corrections Secretary Dick Morgan wrote the following, quote, "The term offender does have a negative connotation and significantly impacts a broad group of people and communities. Times change and so does our language," end quote. This initiative means that Washington State's most infamous felon, convicted serial killer Gary Ridgway, who claims to have murdered at least 71 people, can no longer be called an inmate or an offender anymore. Ditto for the state's myriad other convicted murderers, rapists, child molesters, etc. They're now all students. Students of what? Students of observing the passage of time from a concrete cell, I imagine? Well, I say in for a penny, in for a pound. So why don't we come up with less judgmental terms for the various students? For example, perhaps a murderer should now be called a farmer of humans. A rapist is a pretty harsh word, isn't it? So how about we call rapists non-consensual erotic encounter enthusiasts? Meanwhile, pedophile is such a loaded term, don't you think? So how about we rebrand pedophile as aficionado of intergenerational love? Hey, in the final analysis, the usual suspects, the usual community members may have committed some of the most egregious crimes imaginable, but hey folks, even scumbags have feelings. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Like what you just saw? Then click subscribe below and never miss another Rebel video.